Hey everybody, here we are once again on Cosmograd station. Just doing a bit of a quick update because I haven't had any chance to do Space Engineers videos for a while, and Xerxes and I spent some time working on this last night. So, as you can see, the old remains of the red ship and the old asteroid shield are still pretty much there. Haven't got around to harvesting all that steel yet. We've mostly been using that military ship in the background, but at some point we will probably get rid of this. First thing you'll notice is that actually I spent about 15 minutes whizzing around behind all the industrial area of the station and built this. So the station is now pretty much completely airtight. There may be a couple of small things I've got to fix up on the other side, but this side is sealed. We've got a little connector block there, or sorry, not connector, conveyor block there, so if we want to put a connector array or whatever out here, we can do it. We've also got a sign telling you what the station is. And if we whiz around to this side, there was a bit of an accident. The landing gear on Xerxes fighters bugged out, and the end result was that. So they were already damaged from combat. He'd gone out to capture that thing and got shot up quite badly, so he had them both parked in here for repairs. Well, now they definitely need repairs, and so does the floor, but we haven't got around to that yet. That will be done at a later date. They must have hit it with quite some force to put that much of a dent in it. Spare piece of steel plate there. I have to remember to actually pick that up once the server goes back online. So that thing at the moment is just floating. It's very slowly drifting. It does actually have a small ship anchored to it at the moment to try and stop it from flying into anything expensive, but I am kind of worried at the way it's just sort of floating there. I'm sure Xerxes will go and find a way to effectively stop it, because just one small ship isn't going to have enough gyro or thruster power to stop that inertia. But we can worry about that later. So this is basically the same, you got a little access port here and all your catwalks, but this is new. So we'll go up and have a look at that. Of course, we've still got our worker ships docked up there. Xerxes added the small ship interior lights mod, so I've started putting naval lights on my ship. And also a reversing camera, just some small improvements, quality of life stuff that make it easier to fly and easier to see from a distance. Miner is still there, Ant drone is docked up there. Most of the other workers are just floating around at the moment because Xerxes was using them. So we'll hop down onto the catwalks here. This is new. Still got the same small cockpit here. But this is new. This is EVA. At the moment the airlocks are all open, but normally this would be closed. So, as well as having the boarding area for the ships up there, we decided we needed just an EVA access area for if you just want to go outside. And then we have a small landing pad here for smaller ships, although I forgot to make sure Xerxes built it out of heavy armor, so it's probably going to need to be rebuilt, otherwise it'll get thrust damaged. But all the same, it's a handy little platform for landing worker ships or shuttles or whatever on. I have a nice big window here so you can actually see if there's something docked out there. And suits, of course. And this medical area hasn't really changed any. But what has changed is Xerxes has been going in and putting through piping. Now, these pipes actually do work as conveyors if you set them up properly, but we decided we already have a conveyor network, we don't need more. We would just use the pipes as basically visual interest. So that's what they're in here for, just to make it look a bit more alive, a bit more interesting. Still got our little gravity gen room there, and this is what Xerxes has been working on. Pretty much just detailing up the interior of the station, adding some more interior walls, adding the piping network. I'm pretty sure I've been through all this area before, but I'll just do a quick run through so you can see that nothing's really changed. Still got a great view out that big window there. And of course we still have our little living area, which I really like the design of, and the lighting as well, just kind of adds a slight haze to it. It looks really nice. Anyway, that is enough of that. Let's head back up here, back into the industrial area, because I want to go have a look at some other things. We'll start off with the interior of the wall, so you can actually go up on the catwalks that lead deeper into the industrial area and have a look at that. So as you can see, he's run the piping all through here, over the top, and away to the crew quarters. You can hear the assembles at work there, but this is now fully enclosed. I did like the sort of modelled shadow that was cast from just having scaffolding there, but you know, if we're going to have airlocks on the other side of the station, there's no point in having it open to space on this side. So I just went through, sealed it up as best I could. As far as I can tell, there's no real gaps. There might be a few minuscule ones, but there's no large gaps. It's now properly sealed. I'm going to take a shortcut and just whoop, go to this, or I'm going to fuck it up. There we go. We'll drop down here and have a look at the hydroponic area, which Xerxes finished yesterday, I think, or the day before, and then I added a few details and the lighting. So we got like a little work area here, benches and cupboards, sinks and fridges for storing whatever you're growing down here in and washing it off and so on. And then we got plenty of hydroponics, plus piping put through, you know, because you need some kind of irrigation system, right? And then more sinks at the ends up here for like washing your hands or washing off fruits and vegetables or whatever. And just a little area in here and then another sink there. So it's pretty simply laid out, but you know, it doesn't need to look fancy, it just needs to have some kind of obvious function. And I think that's it for down here. So if we head back out through EVA, we'll go take another look at our colony ship, which we have been working on a little. So I decided that the spaced armour on the top wasn't going to work without ruining the aesthetics of the ship, and I particularly liked the sort of look that Xerxes had given the front of it, where it had that big overhanging piece of armour. So I decided to do the same thing at the back, and so that's what I did. I don't know why the thrusters are randomly firing. I think if you are just slightly too far away from a connector when you lock it, it causes the ship to vibrate pretty rapidly. I had it happen to me in Pobeda, my little worker ship, and I was worried I was actually going to blow it up. So, but it seems to be fine. It just looks really weird, and it makes it kind of dangerous to work around the thrusters. Anyway, going back to what I was actually talking about, I've given it sort of this overhanging shell at the back, so that screens the thrusters from above, and it also gives you some protection to the sides, even for, you know, if a meteor comes in at an angle, you have a little bit of protection. Over the reactor, the crew quarters is a bit less well protected, but, you know, the reactor is slightly more important. And so you can actually see the constructor ship there, because I was working on the armour here when Xerxes took the server down. So we're just going with, at the back of the ship over the reactor, a single layer of heavy armour over the top of the existing light armour ceiling, where you see those red blocks. We're going to probably put point defense turrets there, maybe a couple more along the length of the ship, I'm not sure, but those areas have been cut out for it specifically. I think there's conveyor hookups underneath. Originally I sort of ended this extra skirt to the sides about here, but right before Xerxes logged off for the night, I decided to actually extend the skirt along the entire length of the sides of the ship, which gives the side thrusters a little more protection and just gives it a more consistent look. And then I also beefed up the armour on the front a bit, still keeping the overhang sort of aesthetic that Xerxes had given the ship, but taking it a bit to the next level. Same thing on this side. We're going to have to move the docking camera, so I'll probably do that next time he gets the server up. But other than that, pretty much a good demonstration of what we're planning to do. This second layer of armor will probably end just up past this second red dot. So this will all be just a single layer of heavy armor. That'll be achieved by cutting off the existing roof armor and replacing it with heavy. Because I don't think I could get a double layer to look good around the front of the ship. Whereas if I cut it off part way along the ship, it breaks up the slabs or the flat appearance of it. The ship will still look slab-sided, but it won't look quite as uniform. It should give it a bit of visual interest. May as well do just a quick look around inside since it's been a while. Of course, we have our hangar here, same as before. The internal airlock with the medbay. Medbay is pretty simple, pretty small, but it's good enough. Then your suit rack here and just a passenger seat there. And then if we head up into the main part of the ship, we've got a much better visibility cockpit than the old one. Also looks nicer from the outside, and you can fit some other people in here, so someone can come and talk to the pilot or do whatever. The only thing I'm worried about when it comes to replacing the roof armor is I don't want the light fixtures to come tumbling off the top. So we'll see how that goes, but hopefully we won't need to redo too much of the lighting in here. And of course there you can see the docking ring through to the main part of the station. Upstairs still the same, and yep, that's why that's red, that's where the guns are going. And then we have our reactor back here, same as always. Crew section hasn't changed any. We still have the sort of recreation area up here with the nice view out the back. And then downstairs, the living area. And one interesting thing to note is, I think it was either this patch or the one before it, seems to have done something to the way that blocks render when they've got shadow on them, because they now appear wet almost. They seem to have done something to the, I guess, the specular map of the armor blocks, so now they're really reflective, but especially when they're in shadow, when they're in full light, they're not as bad. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. I'm not sure if it's intentional or not. I'm going to guess probably it was an accident, and it will probably get fixed at some point, but we'll have to wait and see. Anyway, that was a quick update on Cosmograd. Not a huge change to the station, just you know, little bits here and there, but that's how you get things done in this game. As the saying goes, Rome wasn't built in a night, neither was Cosmograd. It was built over the course of several months. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. There'll be more Space Engineers content on the way. I've got to do more stuff on my own world. I probably will be starting a new one fairly soon as I can figure out why the lifeboat mod I made isn't working, because I don't want to have to start out with the default lifeboat. But that's, you know, pretty theoretical at the moment. We'll see how we go with this and with my existing world, and yeah, I think I'll cut this one here. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.